Hello and welcome to the Real Crypto Sentinel, and nothing you see on this video is financial advice, so please do your own research. I know I've said I was going to go through the minimal risk strategy in this video, but the trenches have been pretty dismal recently and there's some more important news on the horizon. So if you are residing in the UK, the crypto tax system is about to get an update, and the law surrounding that as well. So this only applies to UK residents. So if you're not a UK resident, your country will have their own system. I suggest very strongly that you do a bit of research into that, because it might help you out in the long run. Okay, so the UK government currently uses a manual CARF system. So CARF stands for Crypto Asset Reporting Framework. So this CARF system has links into all of the CASPs. CASPs are crypto asset service providers, so this means like your Coinbase or your Crypto.com. Any of these companies that operate in the UK, HMRC has the authority to look at any transactions across any blockchains whenever they want. However, in its current format, the CARF system is a manual system. So this means that HMRC have to physically search wallet addresses or review transaction history and work out themselves if an individual owes tax. So it's very heavily reliant on retail customers such as yourselves and myself to actually come forward and offer up the fact that you've made profit selling your crypto. This is all about to change. The CARF system's getting an update from the 1st of January 2026. This will be a fully automated system and will track every transaction quickly and highlight to HMRC where tax is owed without them having to lift a finger, and without you or myself having to lift a finger, most importantly. The new legislation also means all transactions have to now be recorded by the CASPs, the crypto asset service providers, and the first submission of that recorded information has to be into HMRC by May 2027, which I know sounds like it's a long time away, but that's sort of 18 months of gathering all of the records and data. So HMRC, their new automated systems, got all that information to churn through and provide them with who does and doesn't owe large amounts of tax. Right, so this is probably a good time to start building some sort of spreadsheet with your profits and losses. Profits, obviously, so you can compare that to what HMRC throws at you when they're asking for you to pay tax, and also very importantly record your losses, especially your realised losses, so when you've actually sold your crypto at a loss, because you can use that to offset your tax bill, and I wouldn't put it past HMRC to potentially get some of that wrong, especially as it's a new system. So yeah, watch this space on that one. So what will this system mean in real terms? So previously, in order for HMRC to do a deep dive into someone's transactions, it would generally have required some sort of red flag from a centralized exchange like a crypto sale, and then a transfer back to an individual's fiat bank account. They could then look into the transaction and work out if any taxes are owed, but obviously being a manual system, it's very time and labour intensive, so probably we would have gotten away with quite a lot there, especially if you didn't actually go forward yourself and offer any profits up. However, that is not likely to be the case anymore with the new automated system. It may be something to consider that if you think you have made a fair bit of profit over the last year or two, potentially raising your head above the parapet and getting in touch with HMRC before they come knocking at your door, basically. Okay, moving on. Crypto in the UK is treated like property, so is therefore subject to capital gains tax, which now, thanks to the new Labour government, is charged at 24%. of your hard-earned gains. So there is a £3,000 non-taxable allowance with capital gains, so you can make up to £3,000 profit on your crypto sales before the 24% tax kicks in. So as I was just saying, if you think you've made a profit from crypto in the last year or two, you may want to think about getting in touch with HMRC. The new CARF system will be able to go back up to 3 years, we believe, quite easily. It may be able to go back even further than that if there is a specific reason for them to do so. But yeah, it might be worth pulling your records out if you think you have made a profit in the last 1 or 2 years. Right then, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking along the lines of, my trades are all carried out on decentralized exchanges, so they won't be able to track them. This is untrue. As of the 1st of January 2026, to operate a decentralized exchange in the UK, the legislation has changed, and all of these companies will be required to hold records of all the transactions after the. Okay, you could also think most of my crypto is off chain, perhaps cold storage. That's great, but at some point you're going to want to realise the profit and turn that money back into fiat. You can only do this by transferring back to a CASP, which is the crypto asset service provider, such as Coinbase or Crypto.com. As soon as you transfer back to them again, everything's going to be recorded, the transaction history will be there, and the CARF system will be able to see it. Right, I will transfer all my crypto to cold storage before the 1st of January. Right, great. Once again, HMRC can see your previous transactions. They potentially go back 3 years and beyond, so if you transfer anything now, they will potentially be able to see it, and you'll still be getting a letter saying that you owe tax, especially if it's large sums of crypto that you're transferring from centralized or decentralized exchanges into your cold storage. Okay, another really important piece of information. So the 24% tax, capital gains tax, is not only added when you sell a token for fiat. So selling your Bitcoin or whatever in Coinbase and then transferring back to your bank account. Of course, that's going to require paying tax if it's over the £3,000 non-taxable limit, but also when you transfer from one crypto to another. So if you've made money and then transfer F into Sol, that is still taxable at the 24% rate, and that will be picked up by the new automated CARF system. Yes, this is really annoying, and it does seem like they've thought of everything. So what can you do to protect yourself, to mitigate some of this capital gains and HMRC inquisition, which is undoubtedly coming our way? Okay, so there's a few things you can do. Nothing's going to drastically change the outcome, but the CARF update that is coming in January 2026 directly affects the crypto asset service providers, not the retail customer such as ourselves. However, all the data that they pass back to HMRC is our data, records of our transactions. So it's going to be well worth you having a read of the HMRC website and familiarising yourselves with what will be expected of each of us as individuals regarding our taxes surrounding our crypto assets. Okay, secondly, we can keep an accurate spreadsheet of all our profit and losses. This is important because you can use this to reduce your annual tax bill. This may be a new update, but it's still a government agency, and I would not trust their figures, to be quite honest. So having your own spreadsheet to be able to compare your profits and your losses may save you some money in the long run. Or you can just trust HMRC blindly and pay what they tell you to pay. Not something I want to be doing, to be quite honest with you. If you do keep a profit and loss spreadsheet, and you do feel that the tax bill from HMRC is not correct, you have to challenge the inaccuracies of anything you are not sure of. You can do this by raising an alternative dispute resolution, an ADR, if you're not happy with the figures or the decision that HMRC is sort of pushing on you. So that is an alternative dispute resolution, an ADR you can raise in that instance. Right, I will drop a link to the government website in the description below. I'm quite sure there'll be more information on this to come, so stay tuned, and best of luck to everybody. As I said, I've dropped a link for this, and there will be a couple of other links to my Discord and Telegram in the description, so please check those out. If you found this useful, then please like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks.